We have put it on record that that was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. Even when they're 16, they're on drugs or in gangs. Why the fuck did this kid do that? That kid, your brother, or whoever it is, committed suicide. That murder was me. Tuttle made an appointment and I went and see Paul Castellano again. We had to put it on record that that was me. That murder was me, was me, was me, was me. That kid, your brother, or whoever it is, committed suicide. That was me. That murder was me. This is what the Gotti family did to you. They're not your friend. They used you and your brother's death to hate me or to say something about me.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the Alan Kaiser murder and some crazy video, exclusive content. And I got a guest joining me, Mr. Sonny Grasso. What's up,
Hello
Sonny?
there, Mr. Staxx. Mr. Brother, how are you?
I'm good.
I cannot believe that first clip. I cannot believe what I was just hearing.
Hey,
I can't wait to see this video.
Yeah, I got some crazy video for you guys, and I highlighted I was going through it, and my jaw hit the floor. Like, I was like, holy shit, I don't know if people caught this. Like,
I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't know if you can see me when I'm backstage. This is me.
He got his little puppy dog, his little lap dog now, OC Shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Mike, how are you? Bobo Comp, what's going on? Yeah, you asked why it doubles when you comment. It's because it's streaming on a whole bunch of platforms.
Right. I should have figured that out.
Come on, Sonny.
Come on, Sonny.
Are you ready for this video?
Oh my God, you're like a striptease artist there. You just showed a little bit, I was like, wait a minute, wait.
All right, so there's two videos here. The first video was 2 years ago of Sammy Gravano telling some details of the murder of Alan Kaiser. The second video is a few days ago. Sammy Gravano came on with this little puppy dog, OC Shorts, and explained the murder of Alan Kaiser, but it was different. It wasn't the same. So we're going to get into it now.
Okay. That was me. That murder was me. I killed a 16-year-old. That murder was me. That murder was me. I killed a 16-year-old. That murder was me. Even when they're 16, they're on drugs or in gangs. Why the fuck did this kid do that? That kid, your brother, or whoever it is, committed suicide. That murder was me. Tuttle made an appointment and I went and see Paul Castellano again. We had to put it on record that that was me. That murder was me.
He admits to the murder. He admitted to the murder. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if he understands when he was saying it. Like, he was admitting to the murder. He didn't say Louis Melito did it. He didn't say this happened. He just says, we went to Paul Castellanos, and I had to tell him that murder was me.
Yeah. The only thing I ever heard him say about that was
so it doesn't
that he had gotten
more
a contract.
cut and dry than that.
Well, you remember when I told you, and he said in the interview that he had a cast up to his thigh, so he couldn't get out of the car, so he wasn't the shooter.
That part's coming up. That part's coming up.
And this was 24 years ago.
This one
24 years ago?
This video right here was 2 years ago. Yeah, the murder happened a long time ago, 1970s.
I'm going by the date at the bottom of the video.
No, that's just from editing. That's not. No.
Thank God for that. I never heard him say those words.
Yeah, that date there has nothing to do with that.
I have never ever heard him say those words.
Well, you just did.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
All right, you ready?
Was me.
Go.
Was me. Was me. That kid. Your brother.
Mickey, what's up? Bobo Comp, Fruit Green Light, how are you?
Committed suicide.
Liberty.
That was me. That murder was me.
So we're moving back to your time with the Gambinos. I'd like to discuss a topic which is often quite controversial surrounding yourself.
So you heard the video I just played, the little clippets, right? And now this is the new version of the story. And then after that's done, it goes to the old version. And so you're going to hear the indiscrepancies and everything. Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. His family will get justice one day, whether it's in this lifetime or the next. But he will get justice. And this trash bag, hopefully he'll get what's coming to him.
And it's the 1977 killing of 16-year-old Alan Kaiser. When people discuss this about yourself, they often say that this is one of the killings that was kind of left off when you...
He says Louis Melito did it, Frame. Right. He never admitted to the murder. He always says, Louis Melito did it. I was in the back seat laying down, blah, blah, blah.
If I didn't have the cast on, then I would have been the shooter, but I wasn't. That's what he said.
There's so many discrepancies in this story.
Yeah.
When I was going over, I was like, wow. So the Justice for Alan Kaiser page is tagged in the description of this video if you want to check it out. That's Alan Kaiser's sister runs that. So let's get back to the video.
When you had your arrangement with the FBI and the DA, but it is my understanding that you fully disclosed all events to the FBI and the district attorney when you made your deal. That's all correct, right?
Oh, without a doubt. That's something I talked about. And they, there's guys out there like what we're just talking about, how they're distorting this genre, talking about each other and doing all these things. And,
he's talking about me.
There's one where I was talking about, I have no regrets. I was talking about a story that had nothing to do with anything like that. And then they put that in. They said, here, look, he has no regrets. And he showed this kid's picture. Now, of course, I had regrets. They cut out my conversation. They just put in that one part. If you hear the whole conversation, you hear I do have regrets about a lot of things. Now, about that kid, there was a guy, there was a contract on him. I can't think of his name right now. And that's
Aldo Candido.
Who?
Was it Aldo Candido?
Yes, that's him, Aldo. And he was the guy we had the contract on alone. We hunted him down and we caught him going into a house.
All right, so there's this first indiscrepancy, right? We caught him going into a house. But in all actuality, they caught him coming out of a house and he ended up running.
Well, he gets to that, yeah.
So he says that was Alan Kaiser's house, which it was not. So there's a lot of indiscrepancies in his story. He's lying through his teeth, man.
It's hard to remember all the lies.
Yeah, he's like, why would I lie about this? Was in the Black Hand chat watching this. I switched over. Yeah, I got the Black Hand channel running right now too. I got a bunch of them. And to whoever reported my comment, the little sissy who couldn't handle a comment, I just, man, those are the type of people. Those are the type of people that sit down when they piss in prison.
We win and get guns.
Sometimes I'm too lazy to stand.
No, fuck that, man. I'm always never too lazy to stand, especially in prison. If someone's telling you you're gonna sit down and piss like a bitch, no, it's not happening.
Oh,
that's a
something
debate.
else.
Yeah, that's a debate for another day.
I didn't know.
This guy, I had a beef with him. I got jumped. They broke my ankle. I had a cast from my foot all the way to my thigh. So I was laying in the back seat of the car, and Louis Melito was sitting in the passenger seat. Tato's nephew was sitting in the driver's seat. And I had said, when he comes out of that house, pull up, roll down the window and tell him, listen, we were on Kings Highway. Where's Avenue P? Like you're lost. When he comes over to the window to explain, I'm going to shoot him in the fucking face with the pistol. And then.
You see what I'm saying? Right there. Another discrepancy.
With the pistol.
He says.
He said he was all right.
Said that he said he had a shotgun, that Melito had a shotgun.
Yeah, shotgun, right.
But he can't get his story straight. So he wasn't going to be the shooter. He says he was the backup shooter. So if he was the backup shooter, why would he have Louis Melito call him over and wait for him to come to the car and then Gravano shoot him if he was the backup shooter? Because he's lying.
He was in the back seat on the floor under a blanket.
He's lying in this story. He's lying. He can't get his lies together.
Nope.
We'll get out and finish it. But he must have known the guy that they beat up was a made guy, was me. So when he did come out of the house with that kid, Alan Kaiser, it was his house. Louis rolled the window down and said, asked for directions. He just immediately started running. The kid stood there.
So there's another lie. The guy did start running, but the kid started running. The kid, why would the kid charge at somebody that's shooting a gun? He's not going to do that. He's 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the mob. He doesn't know nothing about this shit.
Louis jumped out of the car with a shotgun. Through a shot, there was pellets in it. They probably used it to kill pigeons on the roof. They never reloaded it with regular slugs. It was birdshot. He got hit in the back and kept running. The guy driving yelled to Louis, "Louis, you got your back." He turned around and he shot this kid, Alan Kaiser.
There's another discrepancy, right? So if the guy's running, right? They run in the same direction or they run in two different directions? My understanding is they both run in the same direction, right? Or the kid's standing there and the guy runs off.
Right.
Now, so if the guy runs off and he shoots the guy, how is the kid in back of Louis Melito?
Even if the kid didn't run, which we know he did, if Louis Melito was in the passenger seat, he gets out the passenger side with his rifle, right? How is Kaiser coming after him from behind?
It doesn't make sense.
Even if he didn't run, he's still on the other side of the car.
Yeah.
But is to say that both of them took off running. Correct?
Yeah, I think they both took off running. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
But this guy is full of his fucking story is Swiss cheese at this point. Because this is the most recent.
Right. He's been a man in his own mind by taking kind of like control of it, saying it was supposed to be mine, but I couldn't. And then he just goes lying through his fucking teeth because he knows he goes back forever, if not puts a needle in his arm, if he admits that he was the shooter. And yet now you just showed a thing from 2 years ago where he's owning up to the whole thing. That is unbelievable.
The whole thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Starstone finally caught alive. Thank you, man. Yo, I want to give a big shout out. I got a donation last night. And I don't want to forget. Everyone that donates, I really appreciate it. If you want to help the channel out, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx. Every dollar is really appreciated.
Well, look how much money I'm saving you by doing this for free. Come on now.
I know, I owe you. I owe you big time, buddy. Gary Jones, thank you so much for the donation. You have no idea. It helps a lot. And if you guys want to donate to the show, you can donate through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all of that good stuff. And I appreciate it. We got a lot of great things on the way. Let's get back to
Mr. Staxx needs your help because his computer is filling up with content.
It's busting at the seams, man.
Yeah.
And they're saying that's not true, that I shot him. I had asked 100 times, let me see his autopsy report, if he was shot with a shotgun or a pistol. Now, I always said that if I had the angle and I wasn't in that position and I saw him running at Louis Melito, I would have shot him. I'm a backup shooter now. I would have definitely shot him, but that's what I got to do.
There you go. There you go.
But he just said that he was going to call the guy over and that he was going to be the shooter. He said, you ask him for directions and I'll shoot him. That doesn't make him the backup shooter. That makes him the shooter.
Right.
Right?
Correct. You call him over for directions and I'll shoot him in the fucking face is exactly what he said.
Yeah. So he can't get his lies together, man.
So now he's trying to get it out there, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I was in a cast. I couldn't do it.
And why would you? Why, if you had a broken ankle, why would you have a cast all the way up to your thigh?
Mm-hmm.
You want it? They don't give you a cast all the way up to your thigh with a broken ankle.
No. A broken fib maybe, but not an ankle.
No, it doesn't go past your fucking knee. It only go up to the bottom of your knee. So he's a liar, man.
Oh yeah.
Now to dump on it, I say I dumped it on Louis. That does me no good whatsoever. I admitted to the murder, being part of the murder. Dumping it on Louis would do nothing for me. Nothing. Zero.
It would make you look like you're not a child killer, which you are.
Correct.
Of course, that's why he dumped it on Louis, because Louis can't defend himself. Because you murdered him, Sammy.
Probably didn't know
it was checked and double.
Huh?
He probably didn't realize the kid's age at the time. And then he said, oh, boy, I better do something quick.
Hey,
he dug himself deeper in a hole anyway.
Well, he had a lot of time to think about it because
Correct.
They didn't even know about who did this, what happened until he confessed.
Yep.
And then he was able to spin his story, DJ spin his story, and fucking tell him whatever he wanted. I mean, they wanted Gotti so bad, they would have let him get away with 1 million murders. They didn't care.
Checked by the FBI, state police, prosecutors. They don't want you going in and making a mistake or a lie. So that was checked over and over and over again.
What about Sammy Gravano selling drugs? He was a fucking absolute huge drug dealer. He was involved with a lot of drugs before he cooperated. And the government tried to make it seem like he wasn't involved with drugs at all.
Yeah.
And then he gets out and gets caught with drugs again.
And met with what's that guy's name? Raza or something like that, the guy from Israel. He was about to go international with it for something that he was only standing up for his kids for. Such bullshit.
Yeah,
he should have been a scriptwriter.
He should have been. And then he tried to say that his son was in credit card debt, and that's the reason he started selling ecstasy. Lies.
I lent him the money under the condition that he only sells it till he can pay off the credit cards. I don't want no money for it. I just want to get paid back the 50. And then he throws
he had
big on
$4 million. He had $4 million. He could have just paid the credit card debt and kept it moving.
Absolutely.
He didn't have to get involved with drugs. He wanted to.
They'll say I never talked with the family, apologized. I said the next day when we got in and looked who got shot, that he was 16, we all looked at it like, oh my God.
Okay, so you see what he's saying, right? Because down the road, remember this part in the video, because down the road, he wasn't saying, oh my God, when he saw Paul Castellano. He said, Paul Castellano said, you got balls of steel. You got balls like an elephant. And he loved him for it. So I don't believe this guy's a fucking liar. He's a blatant liar.
No, everybody he goes into detail about is dead or away for life. So they can't come and dispute whatever he says. That's his act. And it was good for a while, but no more.
But it was like, why did this kid do that? Nobody was trying to kill him. No, he wasn't part of the contract. All he had to do was stand there or run back into his house or run the other way. We wouldn't have tried to kill him. The guy we tried to kill was the guy Aldo. That's the guy who was supposed to go. And it was looked at and researched by everybody. State police, federal organized crime.
Yeah, how long after the crime was it investigated? They didn't even have the evidence. Like, they didn't have any pieces to the puzzle because it's been so long. Louis Melito's dead. What do they have to go by? A fucking autopsy report? He thinks that's going to explain everything?
Let me ask you something. Did he just say that he saw Alan Kaiser? He could have ran back into his house? This was outside Alan Kaiser's house?
It wasn't outside Alan
That's what I
Kaiser's
thought.
house.
Okay.
That's a lie.
He said, why did he come at us? All he had to do was run back into his house. But
why would he run at a shooter?
Yeah, no. No, this kid
prosecutors,
was a nice kid.
I'm sure they.
I know. He seemed like he wasn't involved with any of this shit, man.
Correct.
And so Sammy says he committed suicide. That's it. He ran at it. The video's coming up.
They looked at autopsies, checked my story out if I'm telling the truth, and not one word was ever said. Now I'll go a little further. Later on in life, my daughter spoke with his daughter, his sister, or his aunt. My son did too. My son was making arrangements for me to talk with them. I wanted to say, listen, I apologize. He wasn't meant to be hit. But they refused to talk to me, or it never happened.
Good, because you're the devil. They shouldn't talk to you.
They didn't talk to his kids either.
This guy's profiting. Alan Kaiser didn't have any kids. Alan Kaiser, Sammy Gravano's profiting off of misfortune of others.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they didn't talk to Sammy's kids either.
No, they didn't.
When they went there, they told him, I have nothing to say to you, and closed the door. Period. And
then he blames the Gaudis for all of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But, and being his age, these people who are fucking with me all the time, they want to make me look horrible. I didn't care. I killed a 16-year-old kid. Then I'm blaming Louis Melito. Why would I do all these things? Don't even make sense.
I got it coming out of his own mouth.
Yeah.
Here, let's take another look at that. Let's take another look at that video.
It was me.
That was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. That murder was me. Even when they're 16, they're on drugs or in gangs. Why the fuck did this kid do that? That kid, your brother, or whoever it is, committed suicide. That murder was me. Tuttle made an appointment and I went and see Paul Castellano again. We had to put it on record that that was me. That murder was me, was me, was me, was me. That kid, your brother, or whoever it is, committed suicide. That was me. That murder was me. This is what the Gotti family did to you. They're not your friend. They used you and your brother's death to hate me or to say something about me.
Suicide.
That's what he says.
So like suicide by
unalive, cop. Unalive. You got to say unalive. You can't say that word. You got to say unalive.
You can't say what? The S word?
Yeah, say unalive.
Unalive.
Yeah, yeah.
Unalive by cop. You know what that is? When you
Yeah.
don't want to live no more, you come running out with nothing, but they boom, 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 boom. Now you're done.
Why would the kid do that?
That's what he's saying happened here.
Yeah.
If anything, the kid didn't know which way to run. Maybe. No. But like I said,
come on, the guy's got a gun and he's shooting. The kid's gonna run right towards him.
Right into it? No.
But so he said that the kid was in back of the guy, right? He said he was in back. Hey, watch out! He's in back of you. Right. So you have to turn around.
Right.
It makes no sense. His story
what was he gonna do? He was gonna tackle him, take the gun away. What? You know what, Sammy? If you weren't there at all, if none of you were there, both those kids would be okay. The guy Aldo, and then of course Kaiser would be alive. So what are you talking about?
Maybe he should have waited because didn't the guy get away? He got away. The guy they were supposed to get got away. So he should have waited or something. I mean, the guy's with someone else. He's allegedly with someone else. I don't even think the kid was with him.
Oh, really? Well, they're both in the same house, I thought.
Yeah, I don't think they were together, though.
They weren't together. But yeah, that's very possible.
There's nothing by I cop to the murder. Whether I'm the guy who shot him or Louis shot him, to the government makes no difference. You're going to do life without parole. Makes no difference.
And why aren't you?
And Louis is dead, so why would I dump it on him? To try to look.
He's saying exactly why you would dump it on him.
Look good. To try to do it just makes no sense whatsoever.
It makes perfect sense on why you would dump it on Louis Melito. It makes perfect sense. You don't want people to look at you like a child killer, which he is.
That he had the contract. That's in some states it's a death penalty right off the bat. In the rest of the world, it's life without parole. Forget about if you shot or you didn't shoot or this and that. You were there. You orchestrated the whole thing for everybody to be there at that particular time, and everything should fall on you. But nothing fell on him.
No, because they wanted Gotti so bad. They wanted Gotti so bad they were willing to throw this kid's legacy away to get Gotti. Yeah. It's sad.
It's very sad. That
what really bothers me with this whole thing.
Yeah, the family's got to live with that forever. It's terrible.
Occasionally, I think about it, is that they'll drag this family through the mud again, over and over and over again, not to help them, to hurt me. They can give a shit less about these people, whoever's left, whether it's the sister, the aunt, or whoever it is. They can care less about them. They just want to drag it through the mud to make me look bad that I killed a kid, and then I blame Louis Melito. None of it makes sense.
It perfectly makes sense that you put it on Louis Melito to make yourself look like you didn't kill a child. Makes perfect sense.
Right.
So this guy to even say that is delusional thinking.
I'm actually, this is the last time I really want to discuss this. I'm discussing it openly, honestly. They said they have autopsy reports. Show me an autopsy report where he was shot with a shotgun or a pistol.
Why should you be showing anything? Let's talk about Jack Russo, Sammy. You want to talk about Jack Russo?
Oh, no.
We'll get into that another time.
Oh, no.
Whether he was shot in the chest, the back, where? Show me. Don't just say that you got these documents. Show me them.
Hey,
the way
Kat,
it looked like to me, it looked like he got shot in the chest, the front, and when he went down, Louis put the shotgun to his head, I think, and pulled it. But you got to remember, I'm laying in a back seat, and I have an angle. Now, I could be wrong. I doubt it, but I could be wrong. The way I spotted it, the way it looked at to me, and I didn't see the kid running at Louis. It was the driver.
Wait, what?
What?
He said that he didn't see the kid running at Louis. It was the driver that seen that. And he said that Louis shot the kid and then came up to him and finished him off.
That's the first I heard that. Got to be honest. That fucking sucks. The whole thing sucks, but.
It is. It's terrible.
Show me an autopsy report where he was shot with a shotgun or a pistol. Whether he was shot in the chest, the back, where? Show me. Don't just say that you got these documents. Show me them. The way it looked like to me, it looked like he got shot in the chest, the front, and when he went down, Louis put the shotgun to his head, I think, and pulled it. But you got to remember, I'm laying in a back seat, and I have an angle. Now, I could be wrong. I doubt it, but I could be wrong. The way I spotted it, the way it looked at to me. And I didn't see the kid running at Louis. It was the driver. And now they'll say he's blaming the driver. I'm not blaming the driver. The driver did what he was supposed to do. He's telling Louis there's a threat. The guy's coming at him. A backup shooter like me is supposed to shoot him.
If the backup shooter's supposed to shoot him, how come he didn't shoot him?
Right.
Because he was the main
This was
shooter.
an accident or was it an execution? What the fuck? Which one was it? You go up and put the gun against the back of his head. In that light, that's an execution.
If it was an accident, he wouldn't have done that, right?
Correct. Exactly right. And he didn't get shot in the chest. He got shot in the back. And you don't get the fucking autopsy report because you were smoothed over and you didn't get pinched for that. Even though it was your contract, you hired the guys and you were there ready to blow his face off. So no, you don't get to see.
And he would have to go. They would make him go. If he went back to Paul Castellano and said, I'm the one that killed the kid, they would have killed him. Right?
I mean, for the way it turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
You did what? Who sent you there?
And he tried to say that Paul Castellano was all happy about it. I highly doubt that.
Who initiated the whole contract? Or was this they did it on their own off the cuff?
I think it was allegedly Paul Castellano.
Got asked him to do it? Wow.
Against the guy Aldo. If it was an accident, he wouldn't have finished him off. So all of what he's saying is total bullshit.
Yep.
He's getting caught out in his own words.
I couldn't get the angle or I would have shot him. So I'm not trying to back away from that situation in any way, shape, or form. But to respond to them, I don't want to respond to these people.
Yeah, Sammy said that Paul Castellano praised him for it. And if it was an accident, Paul Castellano...
Praise him for what? He didn't do shit.
I know.
Right?
He didn't do nothing. He was sitting in the back seat doing nothing.
That's what I'm saying. He got praised for not doing anything.
Right?
Yeah.
People are missing these small details that make a big difference.
I'll be Paul right now, and you be Sammy. Sammy, you got big balls, man. I'm proud of you. You didn't do shit. You shot an innocent.
I was in the back seat. I had a cast up to my thigh. I couldn't do nothing.
I have the right angle.
I'm proud of you, though. Yeah.
What a team. Guy shows up with buckshot, bird shot to do a hit. He's laying down in the back seat with a cast up to his balls, and the driver is the one. Oh, come on!
Total lies.
And what they're doing is, if I do that, I make this worse and worse for this family, and my heart goes out to them to lose a 16-year-old kid.
What heart? He doesn't have a heart.
But if he was a 16-year-old kid and he was doing something crazy, I mean, I was a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, but so now he's trying to compare himself to this 16-year-old kid. There is no comparison. He is a serial killer.
If I was in that situation, you better not underestimate me because I was only 16 years old. You would be making the biggest mistake of your life. And we had no idea how old he was, who he was. No reason to hurt him.
So why'd they finish him off then? If he's shot and he's already on the ground, why would they finish him off?
Exactly.
We did a hit.
Huh?
When he was young, when Sammy was young, like 8 or 9 years old, he was caught in his kitchen stabbing boxes of Cheerios and Wheaties and cornflakes. That's when he started becoming a serial killer.
Yeah. He was strangling him. He's all about the money too, 100%. He doesn't care about nothing except money and looking good. He's caught out in his lies today.
In front of 10,000 people with Castellano. Not one single person who wasn't supposed to die died.
Alan Kaiser died. He wasn't supposed to die.
He wasn't supposed to die. What the fuck is that?
We do that intentionally. The last thing I want to do is whack somebody who there's no reason for me to whack them. So, and if I did, I admitted to murder, I would have said, yeah, I shot him. Yeah. It makes no difference in my time. I'm charged with the murder. Whether I shot him, whether Louis shot him, it makes no difference. There is no anything for me to lie about this thing. And I got everything to lose because
there is no anything for me to lie on this. I got everything to lose. He's a liar, blatantly lying. He knows damn well if you were to, he's acting like I'm taking responsibility, but
yeah. So then why didn't you get locked up? Right? Even though I didn't pull the trigger, I'm responsible for it. So I get the same time and I'm charged for murder. Well, but you weren't charged for murder. So shut up.
They let that one skate, right?
And they want this one to go away. Well, he does anyway. So they don't come back.
The government wanted to go away too. They were stuffing it under the rug. They didn't want no one to know about this shit until after the trial was done.
Absolutely.
Because they wanted Gotti. They didn't care about anything else or anybody else. That's the corruption. That's the corruption that we face in this country. It's disgusting. Maybe try to write a new book about the truth behind Sammy Gravano.
If they catch me in a lie, my deal goes down a drain. I go down a drain. Why would I lie? It's just these people trying to hurt me and come up with this story. It sounds horrible. It is horrible. A kid who's not supposed to get killed was 16 years old. That's horrible. And I apologize to them. I did before. I'll do it again. I'm sorry that it happened. But that's the mafia, and that happens on occasion. But the story you're being told that you want to buy is bullshit.
I'll tell you bullshit. An apology that ends with the word "but" is fucking bullshit.
All of it, yeah. 100%.
It's not an apology.
All right, so you heard him there, right? You heard that little story. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. Now
Okay.
we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of this story.
It might have been in my podcast, but I think that it's important for me to put it out now. It was in 1977, the year of the Son of Sam. In 1976, I was a made member. I had a small little after-hour club on 18th Avenue, and Michael DeBat's father left me this place. I talked about it once before. And one night I went there a little early. It was going to open up. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And my bartender came out. And he told me, he said, Sammy, there's a bunch of guys in there, 4 or 5 of them. I think they're bikers, gang members. He wasn't sure. So I said, what do they want? What do they do?
Ivan, thank you for the donation.
They said that they're taking over the joint. The joint is now theirs. So I went inside. They were sitting around drinking. And this one big guy came over to me. Aldo, I think his name was. And he said, you're the guy who runs this place? I said, yeah, I'm the guy who owns it. He said, no more now. We own it. I own it. I'm not stupid. I looked around, 4 or 5 of them.
He's a made member at this point, right?
Yeah.
Made member. So how can someone come in and take his business being a made member in New York?
There's no other people there.
Doesn't make any sense. He can't make a phone call and have his buddies come down, or
they would be there. Not all of them, but there would be people there, and you wouldn't be walking in by yourself.
No. He says they just came in and took over the place.
And it happened to be Aldo. Oh, wow.
Big himself. So I said, okay, give him a drink. He barked back at me. No, you can't give me no drink. I'll give you a drink. I told you I own the joint. And he told the bartender, give him a drink. So I said, okay, when you's open, I'll come down, I'll visit. I was trying to talk my way out of this to get out. Then I would come back. I don't think he'll be happy about how I come back, but I wasn't looking to get into it with 4 or 5 guys at the same time. My bartender was a bartender, wasn't a tough guy. So I says, okay, whatever you want. And I'm trying to wiggle my way out, but he won't let me go. He gets in my way and he's in my face, keeps talking to me. I just sit there for a while and I don't know exactly what to do. Sure enough, I said, fuck this guy. I got up and I started walking towards the door. And he followed me. They all got up. I made it to the door and I walked out to the street. The name of the club was the Bus Stop. The club was right in front of the club. There was a bus stop.
How ironic.
The curb was about 7 inches higher than the street. It's a big drop. He's still talking to me and I moved away and moved towards the street to go to my car. I was steaming hot, but I didn't want to show any emotion. He got in front of me and he stood in the street. In the street, we were almost eye to eye. He still was a little bit taller than me. And he was more or less growling at me, barking at me, and laughing to his friends. He thinks he's going home. I said to myself, I'm trapped. I can't get out of this.
So I'm going to break my own ankle and get untrapped, right? How does that work? This guy's allegedly a made man at this point. People can't do this type of shit to you.
It's a great script so far.
It is.
Sooner or later, I'm going to get hit. So I wanted to throw the first shot. I wanted to hurt him as much as I could hurt him before the other guys jumped in. I used to go to the gym and box.
He used to go to the gym and pay people to spar with him and lose. He wasn't no damn boxer.
I thought to myself, I'm going to throw a fucking left hook. I'm going to catch him right in the fucking jaw. I'm going to break his fucking jaw, put him down, and I'll just jump on top of him. I'll fucking bite his fucking face off.
Yeah, maybe you wanted to do that, Sammy, but your little lies here are not adding up.
Sounds like he was trying to commit not living anymore.
Yeah, because allegedly this guy that did this was a made man, right?
Yeah, but if you're jumping on one guy and 4 other guys are there, well, you're not coming out alive.
No.
So
and he's outside. He's outside at the curb, so.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I threw the shot as he was talking. He went down. His friends came charging. I grabbed him because he wasn't knocked out. He was trying to get up. He was so big and so strong, I couldn't even hold him down. I threw another 2 punches. He did go backwards and fall on the ground, and I jumped on top of him. And they started going to work on me. When I went off the sidewalk, my foot twisted and hit the asphalt crooked. My ankle broke in 3 different places. One on this side, one on this side, and one right above it going down. It almost completely severed my ankle. I covered my face in his chest as I was throwing punches.
And they seen your ankle was broke, and they said, oh, his ankle's broke. Let's stop, right? Is that what happened?
I think somebody had his ankle stomped on the curb. You see the Irish thing?
Yeah.
Remember that scene when the guy put his hands on his daughter and he put his hands over the curb?
Listen, this whole thing could be bullshit. He could have just been walking and twisted his ankle, and he makes up this big ass story about it.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I want to see the medical reports, Sammy, if this is true. Yeah. Like he wants to see the autopsy, right? I want to see the medical reports that you really broke your ankle.
Yeah, what hospital did you go to? I'll get it for you.
And I was getting hit, kicked. A little while.
Let me guess.
By.
A police officer pulls up, right? Is that what happens? Let's hear it.
And again, there was sirens. Maybe someone called the police. There was sirens. They all got up and they took off.
They didn't go back to their bar that they recently took over. That was your bar?
Right.
What happened to that whole situation? They just let you have the bar back?
They didn't beat him into unconsciousness. Now he can only walk on 1 foot now. So
it just, this story does not.
He was on top of the big guy.
Yeah.
Right? He was on top of him. So which means you stepped off the curb. So he's on top of them. Then the other 4 guys come over and start beating the hell out of him. Then he manages to get away, get up, get on the curb, and fall down off the curb. What?
And then these guys run away that just deboed him for his own bar. What up, Staxx? And yes, I sit when peeing. My doctor told me not to lift any more big, heavy. Your doctor told you not to lift anything heavy. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Shorty's nephew, Tommy Spiro, had just passed by. Stopped his car. I was with the Gambino family. He was still with the Colombos, but we remained friends.
Oh, so you're telling me this made man did all this to you, and
now who did he say was driving by? Spiro?
Yeah, they didn't have a sit down over it, nothing. Like, just let's hear the rest of the bullshit.
And he come over. I got up. The bartender grabbed me on one side. He grabbed me on the other side. I was bleeding from everywhere. I told the bartender, go back in the place. I told Tommy, drive me down to the hospital. My leg is fucked up. I'm all fucked up. He did. Drove me to the hospital. It almost severed my ankle, like I said. They put a cast on my foot, my ankle, right up to my knee. They wanted no pressure on this, no nothing.
Up to his knee.
Up to his knee.
Not his thigh.
Not his thigh. So
Correct.
There's an indiscrepancy right there with the story.
I thank Tommy. I got somebody who got my car. I took it home. The next day, on crutches, I went to see Toto. He was my captain. I told him word for word what happened. You want to get even, don't you? Yes. Yes. I'm not done with this. I'm going to make an appointment with Paul.
So they don't go back to the bar, right? The guys that just beat the shit out of him. They don't go back to the bar and just handle him again.
There would have been a phone call made from the emergency room, and we're going back tonight. So he sends his pal, his bartender, back inside with these 5 guys. What happened to them?
Yeah, well, they didn't go back to the bar. They just left.
He fell off the curb. They felt bad for him, so they just, oh man, I think he hurt his ankle. Come on, let's go have a drink. And they just left him and went back inside.
No, he's saying there were sirens, so they all left because of the sirens.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
But the cops didn't come. Sorty Spiro picked him up.
But Tommy Spiro beats the cops there?
Spiro says that Spiro picked him up. The cops didn't come.
Cops never showed up.
No.
Oh my God.
Total bullshit.
I went by Jimmy Brown's club on 86th Street. Paul was there. He took me on the back patio. I explained the whole thing.
And you would have said, I want to sit down. This guy's a made man. I'm a made man. We need to sit down now. Not go.
That's where he met Paul?
No, he said he was already made. He was already a made man at this point.
No, to talk about this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, if that was the truth, you know that Paul would have said, you come to the White House. He ain't driving into Brooklyn to talk to this guy.
No
fucking way.
I had some cuts, some bruises, but I was in a full cast with crutches. Paul Castellano said, do you have enough with your own crew? I said, yes. He said, you're a friend of ours.
We're going to sit down and handle this, not go kill a guy in another family. That would start a war, right?
Correct. Yes. Although it's a gang, so it's not a family.
No, this is when he was in the Gambino, he was in the Gambino family, allegedly.
He was. I'm talking about the gang guys.
He said that they were a made man. The guy was a made man.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Yeah, he said the guy was a made man in another family.
The big guy.
Yeah. If you need more, I'll put more guys on this. I don't need it. I want this personally. Then do it. Take care of it. One of them, all of them, do what you got to do.
Total lies. Because the guy was in another family. Allegedly, the guy was a made man. and did this to Sammy, and he didn't call for a sit down or nothing. He just said, I want to kill him. All of them, one of them, whatever.
You know,
all lies.
Anybody that was around Paul for as long as they were and everything else, he never uttered the words, do it, murder him, kill him, never. He did everything with a nod, or he did everything with a, like, you know, a hand signal. He was very smart that way. So he's not even in the safety of his own home. He's at some restaurant, supposedly, over on 86th Street in Brooklyn. And he's going to outwardly and openly talk with him and saying, all right, kill 1, 2, 3. I don't care. Kill them all. It doesn't make a difference. Go do it. Never, never, never would that come out.
You need more guys? He's going to say all this, right? You need more guys.
He's going to make himself part of it now.
Now, in 1977, was Sammy Gravano in the Gambino family yet?
I don't think so. It depends who you talk to. Said he didn't get made underboss till after Castellano.
No, he didn't get made underboss. But Sammy Gravano used to be with the Colombo family, Carmine Persico and all them.
Correct.
He got transferred over to the Gambino family in what year? Because this all doesn't make sense.
Well, it could have been that early, but it was right before.
Yeah, I don't think he was. He got made in 76.
I would guess it was in the mid 80s.
Yeah, but this happened in 77.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I would say he got made in the mid 80s. Maybe he was an associate then.
Oh, he got made in 76. He got made before. He got made in 76 with the Colombo family. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was with Carmine Persico and all them. So
they made him.
Yeah. And then he got into some beef and got transferred to the Gambino family.
Right.
That's how he got involved with John Gotti and all that.
Right.
But I'm not buying this shit, man. This is not making sense. Because
you know what I think? Seriously, I think Dominic Sicali, I think he wrote the script.
Yeah, he might have. All right, 1971, Gravano married Deborah, had 2 children. Later his career, he was arranged to murder his brother-in-law, blah, blah. We all know about that. All right, Colombo associate, the mafia, long-standing presence on Bensonhurst, Pavacci family, Colombo. Despite the father's attempts to dissuade him, Gravano had many of his ramper colleagues drift into Cosa Nostra. He first became associated with Cosa Nostra in 1968 through Tommy Spiro. Though Uncle Shorty named Tommy Spiro was an associate of Colombo family under Carmine Persico, Gravano, initially involved in crimes such as larceny, armed robbery, quickly moved into loan sharking and running lucrative poker games in the rooms. Gravano became particular favorite of Carmine Persico, who used Gravano to picket the FBI Manhattan headquarters, Joe Colombo. Gravano's rise was so sudden that it genuinely understood that among the first to become a made man in La Cosa Nostra membership when the books were reopened,
right?
They had been closed in 1957. 1970, Gravano committed his first murder following Spiro's associate with those wife, Tommy Spiro, of having an affair. Gravano described the experience. In 1970s, Colombo soldier Ralph Spiro, brother of Shorty, became engraved in Gravano's success. Fearing that he would become a made man before his son, Tommy, the rivalry culminated in the death of Ralph Runga, another Colombo family soldier. Ralph Spiro's crew, after Runga's death, the rumor spread that Gravano had attempted to pick up Runga's widow at a dive bar. Through Gravano maintained Davies was the one hitting on him, that the woman was the one hitting on him. Ralph Spiro used the rumor to attempt to gain support to have Gravano killed. or excuse to kill Gravano himself. After Shorty Spiro believed Gravano rather than Ralph, he and the Colombo hierarchy decided to avoid the conflict for the best of Gravano and transfer him to the Gambino family.
Yeah,
now that
the Gambinos, I thought, is the family that made him.
But no, he was made before he got transferred, I believe.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
That's the story I got.
Yeah.
It says in 1978, Paul Castellano allegedly ordered the murder of Nick Scabetta. So
Nicky the Best?
No, Nick Scabetta.
Oh.
Nicky, cocaine and alcohol abuser. Scabetta participated in several public fights and insulted his daughter, which that whole story is bullshit too. And I'm going to expose that one for you too, Mr. Gravano. Yeah, because it gets pretty intricate.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
The story you just heard is untrue. The names were not changed because they're fucking liars.
Because they are liars. Yeah, there's a lot to go over here.
That's how they spin it. They throw so much shit, you can't keep up with it.
DJ, spin a story. All right, let's get back to the video. I don't have much time left.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's at an hour.
My whole crew by that time was together around me.
Oh, he was only associate with the Gambinos or the Colombos. So in 1977, didn't he get made in 76? He was straightening out with the Colombos. That's right. I knew it. He was straightening out with the Colombos. And then he got transferred after you were straightened out.
You know, it's agnostic says no, he was not straightened out.
You cannot be straight. No, he was not straightened out. He was with the Colombos. You cannot be transferred. Yes, you can be transferred while you're straightened out. I know someone who's a full made man and got transferred to a different family.
Michael Francis.
Listen, I'm going to get down to the bottom of all of it. So,
well, of course you are.
There's no need for an argument. I'm going to get down to the facts of the matter, and that's it.
I didn't know.
Yes, you can be transferred if you're a made man. I know a guy who got transferred from one family to another. He's a made man, so I don't know what you're talking about. No. Yes.
Who they were. I said, let's reach out. Find out who the fuck they are, where they come from. We talked, we didn't hear nothing. 2, 3 days, 4 days, whatever it was. It might have even been a week. I don't even think it was a week. It was a matter of days.
And the guys didn't come back to the bar, right? That they took over from him. He was made into the Gambinos. Hello. Got a big debate going on here. Lex says he was made into the Gambinos. Hello, Sammy, and yes, you can be transferred. 100% you can be transferred. The Gemini twins got transferred. Okay, I have never heard of it my whole life. From the Gambinos to the Colombos. No, he went from the Colombos to the Gambinos, Ivan.
Did you hear the other Gemini twin? The other Gemini twin is getting out in May.
Yeah, I've been writing them.
Have you?
Yeah. He's getting out in April.
Is that what it is? April? I thought it was May.
Yeah.
I was driving on Kings Highway. Tato's nephew was driving. Louis Melito was in the front. I was in the back, more or less, with my leg stretched out.
Again.
And I was talking about it. Now, when they left,
April 30th, he'll be out of prison.
I saw a car.
Ivan sends the Gemini twins were not straightened out with the Gambinos. It's just a fact. The Gemini twins from the Gambinos to the Colombos after they killed Roy DeMeo. You 100% can be transferred, agnostic. I don't know where you get your information from, but you better look it up because you can 100% be transferred.
It was an old car. I didn't really pay it no mind. But that night, driving on Kings Highway, I thought I saw that same kind of a car. It pulled in and double parked in the street. I believe it was West 9th Street. The door opened and the guy got out. It was him. We didn't have any weapons. We didn't have anything. It was him. He double parked the car and went into a house on the right side, up the stairs and into a house.
It says, it's popular for associates to be switched from family to family. It is rare for a made man to switch from family to family, but it is done.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Oh, I know a couple. One because the guy was fooling around with somebody else.
I only know about New York, and no, you cannot. Yes, you can. It says it right here. It says it's rarely done, but it does happen.
Let it go.
Listen, I'm right. This is my fucking show, and I'm right. God damn it.
Hello, Salvatore.
You can be transferred. That's it. I'm drawing the fucking rule. Bam! I win.
Are you talking to me? Where am I being transferred?
No, I'm talking to the people in the comments. Go Google it.
So let's go back to the.
I'm not
docs.
fucking arguing with you. I win. You can be transferred.
Let's go back to the bar. Let's get some guns.
You don't like it? Start your own show.
We hustled back to the bar. Louis Melito came out with a pistol.
Wait, what? Louis Melito came out with a pistol? And we're going to end it right there. We'll be back tomorrow. Let me see what timestamp it's on. We'll start it right back off where we left off. Tomorrow, or if not, we'll start it Monday. I got a lot of shit to do this weekend.
Yeah, do it Monday. That's where you can.
Yeah, we'll do it Monday. We'll start it off on Monday.
You need to
I got
relax
a lot of shit to do. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking the time to watch this show. You want to give anyone a shout out before we go?
Yeah, Louis Melito.
I want to give a shout out to OC Shorts, man. Nice puppy. Nice puppy. How you doing? Have a good weekend, OC. All right? All right?
I think he's humping Sammy's leg there.
Ping! I appreciate all you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. If you don't like this podcast, too fucking bad. Start your own. If you want to donate to the show, you can donate through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. I appreciate every single penny. And remember, don't be a Sammy Gravano.
So long, chat. Be safe.